Morning, Abotai. Yesterday we started speaking about some of the harms of Ayin Hara, which is a force that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did place in the world, so it does exist. The question on everybody's mind is how to protect themselves from the harmful effects of Ayin Hara. So we do find in the words of Chazal and in the Rishonim and Acharonim different ways, different segulot that a person can employ in order to protect himself. So as follows. There's a Gemara in Masechet Berachot, Daf Nun He Amud Bet. The Gemara says that if a person enters a city and he's concerned that he may be susceptible to Ayin Hara, because either, let's say, he has tremendous knowledge or he has a nice voice and people don't know him, and we said that Ayin Hara rests on things that people are amazed about or people admire overly. So a person, what he can do is, the Gemara says, you take your right thumb, put it into your left palm, and your left thumb, and you put it into your right palm, looks something like this. You hold it together, and you say the following thing. The Gemara says it in Aramaic, but you can really say it in any language. Ana, you say Ana, me, and then you say your name and your mother's name. Ana ploni ben ploni, mizar'a di Yosef ka'atena, de la shalta be aina bisha. I, ploni ben ploni, come from the progeny of Yosef, who is not susceptible to Ayin Hara. Now, the Gemara explains that the reason for this is either two reasons. The Gemara says a pasuk, Shneimar, ben porat Yosef, ben porat ale ayin, al tikre ale ayin, ela ole ayin, that the Yosef HaTzadik was above Ayin Hara, and therefore it had no control over him. He controlled the Ayin Hara. Now you might think, hey, wait a second, isn't the majority of Am Yisrael not from Yosef HaTzadik? Chances are we're not from him. So how are we saying that we're from his descendants? The Midrash answers this question. It says, based on a pasuk in Tehillim, Ayin Zayin, Ga'alta bizro amecha bnei Yaakov v'Yosef Sela. The Midrash says that all of Am Yisrael is considered to be the descendants of Yosef because he sustained the entire Am Yisrael when they came down to Mitzrayim. So we're all considered bnei Yosef. So that's number one. Number two, there's a Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, Daf Tzadi Bet. The Gemara says the more inconspicuous a person is, if a person doesn't stick out, if a person doesn't try to show off and things of that nature, the longer he will live. Another segula quoted by Maran Achida in Sefer Kikar La'adin is he speaks about the Roda plant, which in English is either called Ruda or Ru, R-U-E. You can look it up. Looks kind of like a clover, but a little bit different. He says that plant is very, very beneficial in warding off Ayin Hara. Especially if a person has the kavanah, there's a Shem Kadosh, Resh, Vav, Tet, He. If a person has that kavanah for that name of a Kadosh Baruch Hu together while carrying that plant, he says that the effects are very, very beneficial, and he quotes several Mekubalim who say that. But a person has to remember the most important thing is what the Gemara tells us in Masechet Pesachim Daf Kuf Yod Amud Bet. The Gemara says with regards to matters like this, the rule is Man de la kapid la kapdinan bahadeh. There's some people that are so hyper-focused on Ayin Hara, they can't live their lives. Everything they do becomes about Ayin Hara worship. That's not the way it's supposed. Don't forget that Ayin Hara still works for God. Yeah, there's a God out there. Don't forget about that too. So it's important to realize that. And the Gemara says that the more a person is concerned about Ayin Hara, the more he thinks about it, the more he's afraid of it, the more Ayin Hara affects him, the more susceptible he is to it. That's the way it is. If a person doesn't think about it so much, so he's less susceptible to those effects. So that's the hidden segula that a lot of people forget. The more you deal with it, the more you delve into it, the more susceptible you are to its effects. And obviously, Shmirat Torah Mitzvot is the number one segula to protect one from all harm. That's the Ayin Hara in a nutshell. Have a wonderful day and Shabbat Shalom. Don't forget this evening, Bezat Hashem, the earlier minyan downstairs from Mincha Kabbalat Shabbat and Arvit is 6:30, up here at 7 p.m. Shabbat Shalom and have a wonderful day.